Welcome to my family, friends, and my YouTube subscribers. Well, anyway, this will be a series on Rise Up America, for Rise Up America. Wanted to let you know and talk to you. Give me 1 second here. Let me take a little swig of my infused water. I won't tell you what I put in it. Just kidding. If you'll excuse the swallowing, I swallow a little hard. I have a little throat trouble, as do probably many people who talk a lot. I never used to talk a lot, but anyway, I'm going to help some of you who might misunderstand when a YouTuber asks you to support them via Patreon or excuse me, any other via any other source, whether it's PayPal or Patreon. But Patreon's a fairly new thing, and they simply are working with YouTube creators to try to bring crowdfunding, a way of crowdfunding to help these YouTubers. Whether we like it or not, these YouTube videos, they use incredible resources on people's computers, incredible resources, incredible memory, and if they're using any sort of mobile device, it uses an extensive amount of memory, data, extensive amount of, it takes away from the main hardware memory, it takes away from the storage memory, it takes away from the even the SD card, if your device has an SD card. Anyway, I'm gonna get into a little bit of what a Patreon looks to be about. I happen to be a member of Patreon also. I'm not asking for anything at this point. I only have 11 subscribers for the moment, and I don't do enough videos at this point, I believe, to warrant a full-fledged spiel on it. But I'm working with Patreon to develop a page where, if necessary, I can utilize their resources. Anyway, shall we get started? I'll try to explain this best I can. I need my readers because my eyes aren't real hot and darker. Okay. So creators come get paid is what I'm on the Patreon. I am on. Oh boy, is that dark! Wow. Wow, boy. Can you guys see that? Probably not. I'm being goofy. Anyway. Oh, I haven't got the. Let's see. Let's try this again. Alright, ready. Let's try this again. Okay. Here I am. And there's the Patreon page. I'll try to read some of this to you. Creators come get paid. Start your page today. Paycheck from your fans. Harness the power of your biggest fans by letting them fund your ongoing content creation with a monthly subscription amount of their choice. Have the freedom to create more with less focus on the dollar. You'll be able to spend more time doing what you do best, making awesome stuff. Give your Patreon special stuff. Now that you've found your most devoted fans, you'll be able to repay them with unique rewards that you decide. Discover what creators are doing on Patreon. So, there's all kinds of them, and Gary Franchi with Next News Network. I believe even Alex Jones with InfoWars may be on here. Mark Dice is on here, I believe. As well as David Seaman, and probably many others. So creating stuff online is still pretty new, and excuse me. So Patreon life is changing for us creators. Every musician in the world should be on this platform Patreon has been huge. It cascaded through my entire business, making money from internet content. It's gotten trickier over time. Okay. So, creating stuff online is still okay. These keep going. Anyway, Patreon. What Patreon seems to be about. I'm a fairly new YouTube creator. Patreon really seems to be trying to help YouTubers, fund their operations. As I said before, it takes incredible resources for someone to do this. It takes the camera on the devices, whether it's a laptop, a mobile device of any kind. It takes extreme resources on the device, and battery wear is just goes out the window. Anyway, so anytime you hear someone ask for your help via Patreon, really, or any other source, consider giving to them. And it's not like you have to do it. They're asking you to volunteer to do it. So just remember, it's not the creator's fault that YouTube has, they've got people pulling ads consistently, ads that make Google and YouTube money. And so I believe YouTube is hurting enough where they are essentially kowtowing to their advertisers that are pulling ads based on totally political motivation. So these YouTubers are going to need our support as much as you can do. Just as for instance, another cool tool that Google uses is they call it a super chat during a live broadcast of, for a YouTuber, like Gary Franchi. I think there's a couple others that use it. It's called a super chat, and what you do is you send basically a paid super chat to the creator, and it can be as little as $1, as much as $20. And that helps them provide for their families, helps them put food and water on, food and drink on the table. It helps them basically take care of the household. We have to consider this because many people are trying to make a living via YouTube, and it might be the only thing they can do. And again, for anybody who wants to argue that point, there are many people with actual physical and real disabilities. Some have mental disabilities, which a mental disability is very real. It is very real. Mental disabilities are very real. So you've got to understand that these YouTube creators, they may need our help in the short term here, or maybe even the long term, as Google struggles with their own advertisers pulling ads. And it's not only unfair to the YouTubers, it's unfair to Google, because these advertisers are pulling based on purely political motivation, nothing more. Alright folks, that's it. That's got to be a short video, and this is Mr. Nick signing off. This has been a Rise Up America series, and this segment has been about Patreon and how YouTube creators are using Patreon and other sources to help fund their YouTube channels. Have a great day, people. God bless you.